Why here? Video time!
So today I want to talk about something that most people probably don't think about very often, but which affects almost everybody in the world. It's a terror that can strike anybody who goes outside and interacts with other people. Because this is the internet, that may or may not include you, but if you are a hideous acne-covered shut-in, then still pay attention for the sake of your loved ones. Or if you have eaten your loved ones, then for the sake of the loved ones of your less agoraphobic and cannibalistic internet acquaintances. I'm talking, of course, about passing people on the street. Now, this problem is ordinarily not particularly serious. When you're on a crowded street, you can blend in with the people around you and no awkward interactions are necessary.
However,
From time to time, the situation arises that you and one other person are quite literally the only two people visible on the entire half-mile-long stretch of road you happen to be walking on. This is the most painfully awkward thing ever. At first, it's not so bad. You see each other approaching from a distance, and each of you silently registers that there is another person coming. No big deal. Unfortunately, this silent recognition is not the end of your interaction. As the person approaches, you rapidly flip-flop between and must eventually settle upon one of two options. Option 1. Desperately avoid eye contact. If there is a squirrel nearby, then that squirrel must for the next 12 seconds become absolutely the most interesting thing in the world to you, just to such an extent that the person you're passing says to himself, "Ah, he hath noticed yon squirrel, and now hath an appropriate level of interest in it," but not to such an extent that the other person thinks, "What the hell's he looking at that squirrel like that for?" Alternatively, if you have a cell phone, now would be a very good time to pull it out and pretend to be texting, or if your brain is not entirely numb from the awkward exchange in which you are now participating, then by all means start actually texting. For obvious reasons,
never fake a phone call.
if you happen to be listening to music, this can provide yet another source of feigned distraction, provided that you are able to give the appearance of intently enjoying your music without making yourself look like a total idiot. Another way to avoid eye contact is to stare at the ground or at a point in the distance. You must be careful with this, though. If you look too low, they might think you're staring at your
Crotch.
too high, and you look like a zombie, which on a modern college campus will get you
Instantly killed.
too intently straight ahead, and you look like a
Jerkwad.
You must appear disinterested, yet also interested, nonchalant, yet also focused. To master this technique is the mark of a zen state of transcending awkwardness. Option 2. Boldly make eye contact. This is the more risky of your available choices, but it can pay off if you have not mastered the other techniques. If you are a genuinely friendly and outgoing person, then this should present no problem for you. Simply flash your best natural smile for a couple of seconds and move on. Nothing to see here. The vast majority of people, however, are not 100% naturally outgoing and can't even put up the appropriate front. For such people, this path is fraught with danger. Imagine, you look someone in the face and smile hesitantly and awkwardly the way you always do. They do one of four things. Response 1. They smile back. This is the best thing that could possibly happen in this situation. You have just made a passing silent acquaintance. Revel in your success, and
Make no sudden moves.
Response 2. They don't notice. This is not so bad either. Any observer would say that you were just trying to be friendly and the other person is just a failure at social interaction. Response 3. Pepper spray. Some people are paranoid, and when someone smiles at them on an empty street, they immediately reach for one of the many tools in their vast personal self-defense arsenal. You will likely be pepper sprayed in the eyes, kicked in the crotch, and left writhing in a pool of your own tears and vomit. This is, however, not the worst possible response, which is undoubtedly Response 4. Seen but not acknowledged. If the person sees your smile and makes eye contact with you, but you have neglected to notice that they are already attempting to carry out option 1, this results in cataclysmic failure for the both of you and the world may implode due to sheer awkwardness. In fact, if you fail to follow these rules, alarms will sound from nowhere and burly black-suited men armed with spiked cudgels will arrive in unmarked black military-style helicopters to beat the both of you into a bloody mess and then deploy a tactical nuclear device on what pulp remains of your mutilated corpses to counteract the toxic levels of awkward radiation which you have unleashed. So don't do that.
I'm whatever, not so. Have a nice whatever.